Oh, hello there. I'd like to show you this what's in this package. Okay, so this is a battery management system (BMS) from a company called QUCC. The reason I'm getting this QUCC battery BMS is because I have tried AND BMS and also a Daly BMS, or in the brand called MGOT, which is basically the same as Daly BMS. But the problem with the AND BMS is that I have two pieces over here, and since I got the first one, I've tested on my LTO batteries pack, but somehow it couldn't get it activated. I've also tried to apply the 3 to 5 volts in this connection here, but it won't start it. So I talked to the seller, and then I got a second one with half price, but still it has exactly the same problem. So I will unfortunately have to return this to because initially I was told it was not working because their version was not compact with those low voltage cells like the LTO. It probably works on normal lithium iron battery, but I don't have those batteries, so I cannot use this anymore. I even also have a lithium iron phosphate battery backpack, but they having the same problem. They cannot get started. And then I have a Daly BMS, which is running on my inside my battery pack right now. It seems everything's nice, working as expected, but then I encountered two or maybe one first really annoying problem is that the current, if it's less than 2 amps, then it don't have a reading. So if I have my solar charger over here charging my battery at slightly less than 2 amps, then it won't show in charge. But you can see the voltage is growing, but the state of charge is not moving at all. That's problem number one. And the second problem of my Daly BMS is that when I discharge, the state of charge goes down, which is correct. But when I charge it with a high current, not the current below 2 amps, with a very, very high current, the state of charge goes up. And then it hits a value something like 33% or something, then it stays over there. And I don't know, maybe I can share it with some pictures later on. I'll put it over here, then you can see that it's just it caps the state of charge. I think there's some type of software bugs over there, but the current measurement currency thing, it probably is hardware limited. So that's why I've learned about QUCC because that very nice Australian guy in his garage doing a lot of battery type of videos, and I think he uses a QUCC BMS, and it wasn't a very good experience in the beginning, but I think he later got a second one with the relay ones which worked pretty well. And also the seller on the QUCC is very, very friendly, and this one I should unpack them and then show you how it looks like. I'll be right back. Well, it seems pretty well packed. Let's see, I should have two here as I ordered two of them because I have two battery packs, and in case I really don't like the Daly one I'm having right now, I can switch to this one. So let's see what we got in here. Some cables, a USB. They even gave you a USB with the app and the PC software. This is sweet. You don't need to go download anymore. They have everything included. Okay, so this should be the USB to serial port connection. I was told those BMS was made for some project that they have, which is for some for the for one of the robots, like maybe they were teaming up with other companies. So now I can see this is how the BMS looks like. If you compare with what the end one says here, and this end one is saying that it has 300 amps, but that's definitely some peak value. It won't be continuing to carry that amount of amps, but this one they are giving here is 80 amps. You can see, I think that makes tons of sense. And okay, so this doesn't have any connection parts, which is slightly sad, but then I can wire above my own cable connections. That's no problem. And this is definitely the Bluetooth module. Not very good, but maybe we'll fix it later. This one looks much better. Alright, so basically just a short information here. Basically it's like quite simple. So you have a B minus that connects to the total battery negative, and then you have battery 1 to battery 2 and until it's battery 8, and then the rest would not be needed because we only have, this one supports 16 batteries, but we only have 8, so the rest is not needed. But then you would only also connect the B plus to the final plus of the battery. That should be simple. Let's do it. Firstly, let's disconnect this inverter. Turn it off. Don't need this now. This power. It should be fine. Packages. Let's start with B minus. And let's continue doing the rest. Alright, now we have all the needed cable connected, and I also wired some cables for the active balancer. And let's see if we can get all the not needed cable from end. Actually goes out. Now this is the first one, 3.3. Second one, 3 more, 10 volts, 13 volts, 13 something and 16 something, and then I have 19 something, 20, 23, 26, perfect. Then we have one of the last one here, 23, also B plus. So this is all correct. And double check the balancer. The first one, 3.3, 6, 10, 13, 16, 20, 23, 26. It's all good. Alright, it's a moment of the truth. We have connected the B minus to the battery minus side, and also we have also double checked the connections earlier, and there's also readings on the connection part telling you this is the ground and temperature sensors and voltage 1, voltage 2, and this is voltage plus. So we just need to plug in like this. Let's see if everything holds. All right, now it's connected. Okay, I just contacted the seller late night in China, and he's still working. And it turned out to be that we have a key connection over here. So if I move my camera a little bit, there, you have another cable over here, and one of the cable is marked, two of the cable are marked as the key connection over here. So it's like similar like the AND BMS, but you don't need a external power source. Just need to connect those two. The correct way to do it, I think, is we have to insulate all those cables that coming from the small ones, and then we just wire up those two keys and keep them together. Okay, that's simple, straightforward. So let's insulate the cable first, because we don't want to make any errors here. First one there, second one here. So we connect those two keys right now as the last step. This is simple, straightforward. I have a cable connector here, so that'll be easy. Good, now they're connected. Now you can see the board has lights up. Oh wow, it's up. So here on the Bluetooth, there's one called JDY33BLE. It's probably that one. Okay, let's try to set a few parameters, see if it works. Here it says the total number of cells. It was 16. The battery is actually not charging at the moment, even though I've wired my solar chargers on it. But let's try to put 8. It says setting successful. Change the this is total capacity. We have 200. That's also set. Okay, so this is interesting part. Originally this device was by default was trying to connect to a 16 cell battery. So when I opened the app, it was showing that everything's turned off and then nothing's working. But after I updated one of the parameters, and then the BMS shut itself down, which is quite interesting. Then I basically used the key cable, disconnected and connected again. And now when I open it up again, and everything seems working. So the voltage and then the charger, you can see it's already started charging. And the state of charging is also automatically calculated at 40%, but I think this is wrong. I need to also adjust this one. Alright, now since everything's working, and let's put everything back. This one seems working. Sticker. Let's give a sticker. That is good. You can't see it now. Sorry. But I found a good location for it. Slide in to the center of the cells. Perfect. Simple paper. Hold it. this one is back. And before I put up my inverter, just charge it. Up. Now I have inverter working. Alright, so here I brought my water bottle. I'll put it down here. And as the inverter is already on, let's connect the inverter power. There might be some noise. Hopefully no smoke. And this is my water bottle here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's working properly. Okay, morning again. So last evening I've been trying to install this QUCC 80 amps BMS, and it's working now very nicely for the whole evening, and great support from the seller side. And I have another one which is running, but this is the second one. I'm just picking it out and show you how it looks. Just a few things. When after the BMS is connected, you would also need to connect this cable, which usually it's connecting to the RS485 USB connection. But on this cable, you have two wide cable marked as key cable. That's what they call it. So all you need to do is to short connecting those two key cable, and that will basically keep the battery management system alive. It needs to be connected all the time. The second thing is for the state of charge settings. There you can only set the rated battery capacity, and the state of charge will be automatically calculated after you charge and recharge it a few cycles. So I think that's pretty smart, and I think probably that's the correct way of doing it, because then they can always track what's the capacity that left is really left inside the battery, so you don't need to manually adjust anything afterwards. And also one maybe downside from specifically this BMS from QUCC, what I hope they could improve on is those cables that they came without any kind of end connection, what you call it, clamps, or yeah, you know what I mean, those metal rings. They could have basically just attached to wirings exactly like the end that they already did this, and but here they don't have it, so I have to do that myself. So that's one thing they could improve on. Okay, one more thing I forgot to say is that the minimum current that it can measure, there's a parameter called maybe bias current or something that actually you can adjust, and now I can actually read the current even less than 0.5 or 0.4. It can maybe even go down 0.2 or 0.1 amps if you try that, to play with that parameters. And this is very, very nice for me, because to me, in my application, sometimes the solar charging is very low amps, and also in the evening I only have my router connected to the battery, so it's drawing something like even 0.4, 0.5 amps. And sadly, the Daly BMS cannot read amps lower than 2 amps, or at least the version, the 10S 300 amp Daly BMS cannot do that. So this is perfect for me. I don't know, maybe for your application this is also important. I would like just to add this information here as well. Yep. So yeah, thank you very much. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of information of this BMS on the internet or on YouTube right now. So if you are building new battery systems, um, feel free to check this one out. I think it supports it supports 6S to 16S. So unfortunately, sadly, this one doesn't support the 4S. But I'm pretty sure that QUCC have other 4S BMS out there as well. Okay, thank you for your time.